don't even make Tekken, like, I don't even do Tekken rants. And Mortal Kombat is my baby, right? I don't even know that much about Tekken, but I know this is some bullshit. This is bad. If we're just talking about Tekken and the state of Tekken right now, I'm not gonna lie, it's kind of crazy. And this is one of the things I wanted to touch on before we even get on the Tekken, right? It's been like, at this point of me recording, it's been what, 48 hours or 72 hours since the season's dropped, right? And a lot of people in the community.
Hello, YouTube dancer, man dancing dancer, man dancing dancer, man dancing dancer, pew 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 pew.
Got you. You know, Fuse, I appreciate the text speech. I appreciate the love, bro. But every time you do that, it makes my job a little bit harder. So here's the thing with Tekken, right? I don't know exactly what's going on with the game. A lot of negative reviews. A lot of people are not feeling good about the game, and understandably so, because for one, you know, a lot of the things people complained about was like the tracking and sidewalking and stuff like that. They kind of fixed half-ass. They fixed the sidewalking and the sidestepping, but then they also increased the tracking on a lot of moves and stuff like that. So it's right now we're still figuring that out. But the big thing that people are like hung up on is the buffs, all the new things that are coming out of Heat, bro. So I don't know what's going on. And I've said this before I seen anything else. When everything came out, right, and we seen the updates, immediately the first thing we seen was the patch notes. Now, you guys have probably seen the video of me reacting to fighting GM, basically break down all the nerfs and stuff to Lee. Lee is not the only character that got nerfed. I know a lot of characters got nerfed, like I know Dragunov got nerfed, and some other top tiers got nerfed and stuff like that. But I'm just not understanding the consistency, because for instance, we are nerfing characters like Lee, which some people like have greatly overrated Lee and saying he was top tier, he was top 10. At the best case scenario, I could see Lee being like bottom of top 10, right? Like you could argue that, but I could easily tell you there's 10 characters in the game that are better than Lee, like easily, undeniably. But you had so many people convinced that Lee was just really good. But the problem is, my personal belief is, if you struggle against Lee, it's because you lack the patience and you want to match and stuff like that, and you're mad that you continuously get counter hit and you don't know the matchup. So this game is very mash friendly. So for a character that is predicated on baiting people to press buttons in a mash friendly game, people would be like, okay, yeah, this character's broken, because he's basically a counter to a lot of people's habits and how they like to play this game. So because you are hyper and you don't like to take a break and pause and breathe and read what somebody's doing, you would see Lee as a problem. Now, anybody that has patience, like Spooky here, for instance, someone that likes to hold a lot of offense and will just wait for you to make a mistake or something like that. Lee, I struggle against him because he's a very patient player. Anybody that lacks a lot of patience and has pretty good defense, Lees are gonna struggle against. And so that's the one thing. The thing I don't get with Tekken is they will go and nerf a character like Lee, and then they'll go and buff a character like King. King has so many different things where he's got so many options out of Heat now, or his Jaguar sprint, where it's like, I actually want to go and find, because Main Man touched on this.
But once I felt it, I played against a King, you know, it was just like, it was just as awful and atrocious as I thought it was going to be. You know, we buff King, he goes into Heat, if we just go into Heat at the start of a round, and now good night. He runs in, and from running, he can do forward 4. A safe mid homing, right?
A safe homing mid.
Or he does this. Can I do a Shining Wizard? And it's a homing throw. And he gets his Heat back.
It's just crazy.
He's threatening you with a running mix-up where he's a safe mid knockdown homing. Again, you're playing Street Fighter. It just goes into a Heat burst. The three-dimensional space no longer exists. He can run in with a safe, long-range, low-crushing, homing mid, safe, knocks you down, or he runs in and does a homing 50-50 throw mix-up. You have to take a guess. You know, if he gets it right, he gets his Heat back.
That makes zero sense.
Again, same goes for giant swing.
Yep, homing.
Tons of heat back.
Like you can't
and he
step
just
it.
He keeps repeating this mix-up now.
Like that's
And you're playing
insane.
Street
What the
Fighter.
like?
The most upsetting factor is that you're reducing all of us, even people like me who have 30 years of experience. When I play against King now, you've reduced me to an intermediate player, even after 30 years. Because all the advanced strategies I've accumulated with tons of hard work, right, pouring it into your game, it means nothing now. You know what intermediate players do? They duck against King, which is very misguided, right? Because they don't have throw breaks. So they duck the throws, they don't use stepping. And then King can just run in and do that. Or he does this, right? Very misguided. But congrats, that's out the window now with Promised Consort King, right?
Promised Consort.
You've reduced me to an intermediate player. This shit has to go. I don't want to play against this character. For every character...
Yeah. So, but yeah, that's basically what I wanted to... Because he can explain it much better than I can, right? That's my thing is, I don't know if they just don't know how to balance games. And this is what I was touching on when I was saying, like, I said this before I actually even seen this video, because he posted that video 15 hours ago. I said this literally the night of the patch. And I've told people this in my Discord, and I've been in voice chats, and y'all can quote me on the record saying, it's almost as if they don't play the game. And I know for a fact, GK, I told you that. And I know Spooky was there, and I literally said, it seems like they don't play the game. It's like they're just so out of touch, because just for like a game balance in one-on-one, and we're just talking fighting games here, right? There has to be a risk reward to each option that you do. So you can't have a homing high or a homing throw, and then also a homing mid, where the homing mid is safe on block. So basically, in a three-dimensional fighter where you could step, now he has three different options where he's homing. So basically, stepping King is not an option whatsoever. So either you can duck the throw, or you could take or tech the throw, or you have to basically eat the mid. They don't play it, or they're on such a low level that they think this is okay. It's either one. Either one is completely out of touch. There's no way, like, just for instance, like, let's just speak hypothetical. Let's say we break down three options, right? We have a high, say we have a high that coming in out of heat. And the high, of course, can be ducked or whatever, right? And it's a safer option on block. You can go for the high because it'll leave you a reset neutral, put you plus or whatever, okay? That's why you would go for the high. It doesn't give you a lot of damage, but also on hit that it can also put you at hit advantage. And it just goes into another mix-up, but it basically stops your heat momentum, say? That's your high option. Your mid, say your mid is homing and it does meaty damage, right? But on block, the mid is, say, -13, -14 on block, okay? So that's the risk of you going for the mid. Now, of course, the high, you can sidestep or anything like that. Now you also have your low, where your low option is basically where you can get a lot of combos. Like you've got a low heat engager, where it's basically a low starter, or a heat burst is a low starter. But if you attempt to go for the low and it's blocked, you're basically completely out of heat, and it basically resets neutral. So in that situation, now we've got three risk rewards. Either I'm not gonna be able to use my heat as much as effectively on high, I'm gonna use my safe option, or I can go for my mid and I can track to see if they're going to try and step my high because they know that's my safest option, or they're going to try and block my low because that's where I get a lot of my damage. But there is a risk reward between each one of the options. For King, there's no risk reward at all between any of the options. Like, okay, they might duck the throw, but it's just like, motherfucker, I'll just go for, I'll go for one of my other two homing options that are very good. Plus, I'm very safe on block on this option. So it's like, it's not fun to play against. And then you get into the like I said, where you nerf Lee, where, like I said, I already went on my rant about that. How are we nerfing somebody that is like Lee, and then we're buffing somebody who is already regarded as top tier? You know what I mean? Like, I don't understand it. Now they're giving things to Brian, where he's got a low counter hit wall splat. Like, Brian doesn't need that. It's like they don't play the game. It's crazy. The other part of this that really fucks it up, you constantly would think they're in touch with their community. You know, they have people tweet at them all the time, give them criticism of the game, and then here we go, and it's like y'all doubled down on all the shit that you guys said, like all the stuff the community complained about. You doubled down on it. Double down. You doubled down. We said we complained about heat, so what y'all do? Give us more heat options, have us keep heat longer, but like, and now it just heat is just stronger than ever. What I don't understand is people complain about heat and some people complain about the rage arts. You complain about rage art, you can, you know, somewhat, and then people complain about heat. Just think of this. Like, we start the round with heat, which is so odd. You would think something as a comeback mechanic would be like put into the, like, you would have to work for that. You know what I mean? Like, just think of it this way. You start the game, Marvel Rivals, everybody starts with their ultimate. And you could just pop it off immediate to capture the first point. You start the game, the multiplayer game of Call of Duty or whatever, or Warzone or whatever. You start with all your score streaks, all your kill streaks. Everybody starts the game in Fortnite with a mythic weapon. Everybody starts the game of 2K with Takeover. Every game of Mortal Kombat, you start with your fatal blow and full meter, as well as full damage defensive meter. And is it sounding crazy yet? Like, just think of it. It just sounds crazy, right? But no, in Tekken, we start with heat. You can immediately start with heat. And here's the thing, if you fail to engage your heat, you can just try it again. Just try it again. I don't understand it. And for a game like Tekken, the technical skill of Tekken that goes into it, it's like they're just reducing it. They're reducing it every single update. If this is season 2, if this is how it looks, and they've already shown that they don't listen to us, what the fuck is season 3 gonna be? Given you have any players still left playing this shit that long. I don't even make Tekken, like, I don't even do Tekken rants. I could probably count on my finger how many times I've done a Tekken rant. Like, I could count on one hand how many Tekken rants I've posted on my channel and have plenty of fingers like left over, bro. And Mortal Kombat is my baby, right? I don't even know that much about Tekken, but I know this is some bullshit. This is bad. This is like really, really bad, bro. I just don't understand. My fix of how I would have addressed the heat is you don't start the game with heat. Heat is a meter that will be built either by you, whatever mechanic you want to work by, getting offense or a certain amount of damage taken will raise a certain amount of heat. You have a meter that lasts for a match. So probably first match, you're not really gonna get heat. You might get heat in that second round, somewhere through that second round or anything like that. And say we go to 5 rounds, you might be able to use heat 2 to 3 times, right? And then that's it. You know what I mean? Like, if you want to go into round 4 and you want to pop heat and something like that, and you're popping heat, okay, well now last round, you're probably not going to have heat. So now as a player, you have to rely on the fact that you're going to have to get through this round without using your heat. And now you have to make a decision. Am I going to use my heat here or not? Also, we can't just keep having niggas get hit. Oh, try to spam heat, get knocked out of it. Oh, they get hit, knocked out of heat. Oh, they get knocked out of heat. Oh, they get knocked out of heat. And now I'm looking at this player who has tried to activate heat 6 times, and he finally breaks through, and he's getting rewarded for it because he's sitting there mashing fucking heat, or whatever fucking button you're doing, he's sitting there mashing it, bro. It's like I don't know what's going on, but games in general, fighting games in general, across the board, when we look at like Mortal Kombat, Tekken, I've even seen people complain about Street Fighter. It's like now they just want to limit the defense and the defensive options, and they just want people to it's just offense. Because if you implement a certain level of defense, you put too many options there for casual players, it's just hard for them to adapt. And I just believe that's where we're headed with fighting games. And it's like, it's sad, but I think that's where we're at, bro. So if you guys are seeing this on YouTube, bro, make sure y'all leave a like on the video and comment down below what y'all think the issue is with Tekken. How would y'all fixing it, and how do y'all feel, bro? Because this, not gonna lie, this is pretty fucking bad. It's pretty ugly. I think we're cooked, bro. I don't know if I'll be here for season 3, but fuck, you know. Somebody do something.